think I'm gonna work on these trees here. Something like that. And I'm gonna paint over this panel I scraped off most of it. It was not something that I wanted to keep. All right, here we go. Okay, so actually I think I'm gonna keep it sideways. Have more of a landscape. Okay, so I've covered that up. The paint is just really stiff when it gets cold. I think wintertime is more frustrating for me, painting outside. I'm going to try to get some of these lights in because this dark background is confusing me. So if I can figure out where the lights are, that would be helpful. Oh, and that's too light. It's a little better. Ooh, that's very bright. This is interesting. I don't usually do this. Putting the brights in so early. Gives it a different look. Very soft. Winter paintings do look softer and messier. I think, at least mine do. Because there's not time and room, or not, there's not as much time to finesse. Because I start getting really cold. Put in some of these shadows, which are going to change. But my challenge is to pick a I can't think of the word. Thank you, COVID. My challenge is to pick a way that the shadows are here and stick with it. Composition. That's what I'm trying to say. Composition. Good heavens. It's a cute little bird. I don't want to overwork these shadows. I kind of like that. I'm gonna work on this tree first. Try to get it to a point that's done-ish. And then I'll go and I'll put those in. But this one here is the focus. And I've just noticed there's like I couldn't see it before, but there's like a bulge right there, which is rather nice. I think I'll put that in. Okay, it is time to step back, assess, and have a warm beverage. The next order of business is to put in some of the sky colors so I can judge what is going on. What's going on? The skies seem a little more cerulean in the winter. And here I can also see there's a lot of branches here, like that one, this one that I haven't put in, but I can sort of cut those shapes out while I'm doing this right here. Wow, that's still very blue. See, that's why it's helpful to, I don't have to do the whole sky now, but at least put a little bit in so I can get an idea of like, wow. Values are not adding up, or I can sort of key things. What's going on over here? It's a ghost tree. I'm having a little trouble. My palette is in full sun. I've kept my panel in the shade. Problem is, when I mix it here, it looks like it's the right value, but then when I put it on here, it's usually like, whoa, that is way too bright, like that. That's a little too bright because I'm not looking at it in the right whatever. Yes, that was a gun. In hunting season, if I'm in the woods, always wear something orange. These shadows back here are a lot softer since they're being cast, I'm guessing, by some of these up here. My number one challenge, as it usually is going to be not overworking this, because I like boots. I like sort of how this is coming together, and I don't want to let Jennifer jump in and try to fix it and finish it and do this and that, ruin it in the process. She means well, but she overthinks things. Sometimes it's best if you just give her a juice box and tell her to go sit down. This is just straight from the tube. I'm just going to pick out some of these sunlit spots on the ground. I have a nice sort of dark to mid-tone base established, so I can just sort of put these on top. What is going on here? Okay. feels more like that. I realize now I should have put the shadow pattern in at the beginning so that I knew what I was looking at, because now the light has changed and I can't really remember like where it was, what is happening. I'm just gonna leave a lot of this, like, who knows what's going on there, who cares? It's not the focus anyway. So there. It's time for a break. My back gets sore after a while. Last winter I was in Vermont painting with the artist Jessica Fligg, and we were having a blast, having a great time. So I was out there for like 4 hours in the winter, and like I just got to this point, I was just like moaning, I was so tired. I was just like whining and moaning. I'm so tired, I'm so tired. And she's like, well, go take a break. Like, go sit in your car. And I was just like, what? And my brain was just, my mind was blown. I was like, what? Take a break? And so I did. And it was great. And then I had more energy and I could finish. So I'm ashamed to say I didn't think of it myself. Or more like I was like, breaks are for sissies. I'm not taking a break. But like, that's ridiculous. Go take a break. So it is nice to paint with other people, not just because it's nice to have the company, but like, they'll keep you from being ridiculous. Okay, I'm losing the light. It's changing a lot. I'm also getting tired and cold. So I'm gonna have to wrap this up in the next half hour. That was nice. Those people just stopped. I never know what to say though. Like, how much do you want for it? I don't know. I'm not good at that. I also know that like you have to keep your prices the same across all the markets and platforms and all that, but like something that people would pay for it up here is not what it would be elsewhere, so I never know what to say. I thought I heard someone. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there because I can't use a little brush of fine liner with this thick paint. Otherwise I'd do a lot of the little diddly doos that are happening over there, but I can't do that right now, so I don't want to overwork it. There are parts I like, parts I don't. All in all, it was a good effort for the first colder painting of the year. And so thank you for watching. Bye bye. Say bye to the friends. Bye bye, friends.